Lesson 120. First Commandment of the Church. What sin does a Catholic commit who through his own fault misses Mass on a Sunday or holy day of obligation? A Catholic who through his own fault misses Mass on a Sunday or holy day of obligation commits a mortal sin. The precept is not binding on one who must care for the sick or lives rather far away from a church, or who has urgent work, or is ill. The first precept of the Church requires us to sanctify Sundays and holy days of obligation. Then we render to God and the saints some of the honour due them. The aim of instituting holy days is to have the faithful remember for all time the important events commemorated, and to have them give praise and thanksgiving to God for them. This is why we should always try to celebrate holy days in a becoming manner. Some persons unhappily treat holy days as merely days to eat and drink and be merry, without regard for the occasion commemorated. The civil law does not recognize as holy days some of the church holy days of obligation. Factories, offices, and schools keep open on those days. But even if Catholics must go to work on such holy days, they should at least try to hear Mass. In many churches there is Mass at an early hour in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon and evening. Persons not obliged to work on holy days of obligation should avoid doing so. But those who must work need remember only our Lord's words. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath. What else does the Church oblige us to do on holy days of obligation? The Church obliges us to abstain from servile work on holy days of obligation, just as on Sundays, as far as we are able. On these days, Catholics should keep away from housework like washing and house cleaning. Why were holy days instituted by the Church? Holy days were instituted by the Church to remind us of the mysteries of our religion, and of the important events in the lives of Christ and of his Blessed Mother, and to recall to us the virtues and the rewards of the saints. The Church appoints festivals in honour of our Lord in order that we may recall the principal mysteries of our redemption, thank God for the graces received through these mysteries, and make them bear fruit in our lives. The feasts of our Lord that do not necessarily fall on a Sunday are Christmas, the Circumcision, and the Ascension. Easter and Pentecost always fall on a Sunday. Other feasts of our Lord that should be properly celebrated are the Epiphany and Corpus Christi, the Thursday after Trinity Sunday. The Epiphany celebrates the adoration of the newly born child by the Magi, the wise men from the east, Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthazar. The feast is called the Epiphany, or Manifestation, because it celebrates the manifestation of Christ to the Gentiles. The festivals in honour of Our Lady and the saints are prescribed that we may reverence them as God's friends and profit by their intercession and example. Whenever able, we should try to hear Mass on other important holy days, even though we may not be of obligation. Two of these important feasts are the Feast of St. Joseph on March 19th, and the Feast of Saints Peter and Paul on June 29th.